I've seen miracles happen to people from all walks of life around the world. It will work magic for you too if you start to use the power of your subconscious mind. The point of this book is to teach you that your recurring ideas and images make up your future, because a person is what he thinks in his subconscious mind. Do you know what to do? Why is one person unhappy and another happy? Why is one person happy and wealthy while another is poor and unhappy? Why is one person scared and worried while another is sure of themselves and full of faith? Why does one person have a beautiful, fancy home while another lives in a slum and is miserable? Why does one person do really well while another fails? Why is one person so great and so popular, but another so average and not so popular? Why does one person excel at their job while another toils and mopes his whole life without accomplishing anything worthwhile? Why does one person have a sickness that is said to be incurable and another person does not? What is it about the brains and bodies of so many good, kind and religious people that makes them suffer like the damned? Why do so many people who aren't religious or moral succeed, get rich and stay healthy? What makes one person happy in their marriage and another person very sad and angry? There is without a doubt an answer to these questions in the way their conscious and subconscious thoughts work. The main reason I wrote this book was because I really wanted to share with other people the answers I've found to these and many other similar problems. I've tried to use as many words as possible to explain the big facts of your mind. I think it is possible to use everyday language to explain the most basic rules of life and your mind. You will notice that the language in this book is the same language you read in newspapers and magazines, at work, at home, and in the workshop. I really want you to read this book and use the methods it talks about. I am 100% sure that if you do this, you will access a magical power that will help you escape chaos, pain, sadness, and failure. You will find your real place, solve your problems, be freed from emotional and physical bonds, and be put on the royal road to freedom, happiness, and peace of mind. Your subconscious mind has a magical power that can heal you and make you healthy and strong again. If you learn to use your inner strengths, you can escape the prison of fear and live a life that Paul called the glorious freedom of the children of God. Getting a personal healing, which is the power that does miracles, will always be the best proof of our subconscious abilities. A sarcoma is the medical term for a malignant tumor that I was able to cure myself of many years ago by using the healing power of my subconscious mind, which made me and still controls and maintains all of my important functions. This book goes into great depth about the method I used at the time. Believe in the same infinite healing spirit that lives deep inside all of us. I'm sure it will help other people. Thanks to the wise words of an old doctor friend, I suddenly understood that it makes sense to think that the creative intelligence that made all my organs, shaped my body, and beat my heart can also heal itself. The doctor heals the wound, and God heals it, says an old proverb. When you pray right, amazing things happen. Scientific prayer is when the conscious and subconscious parts of your mind work together in a way that makes sense for a certain goal. You can get what you really want in life by reading this book. It will teach you the scientific way to connect with your inner world of infinite power. Want a better, happy life? Find your way through everyday life, solve business problems, and make peace in your family relationships by starting to use this amazing power. Read this book more than once. This book has many chapters that explain how this great power works and how you can use it to find motivation and knowledge. Find out the easy ways to make your inner mind listen. Follow the new science method to get to the warehouse that never ends. Pay close attention, take it seriously, and read this book with love. Look it over, or trouble when you're sick, and prayers pour out when death is close. Just read the news every day. Reports say that people all over the country are praying for a child who has a disease that is thought to be incurable, for world peace, and for a group of miners who are stuck in a flooded mine. Later, we learn that the workers said they prayed while they were waiting to be saved. Without a doubt, prayer always helps when things are hard. However, why wait until we are in trouble to make prayer an important and helpful part of our daily lives? Dramatic reactions to prayer are what make the news and are the subject of testimonials about how powerful prayer is. But what about the many simple prayers that children say, the daily Thanksgiving meal, and the faithful devotions where a person only wants to be with God? Because I work with people, I've learned about the different ways to pray and seen how powerful it can be in my own life. I've also talked to and worked with many other people who have gotten a lot out of prayer. Often, it's hard to explain how to pray to someone else. People who are having problems can't think or act normally because their problems are too much for them to handle and make it hard for them to listen and understand. It's important for them to have a simple, clear method or pattern that they can easily follow. The thing that makes this book stand out is how useful and real it is. You will find simple, useful tips and rules here that you can use right away in your daily life. Men and women from all over the world have learned these easy steps from me. You'll like this book's unique features because they explain why you often get the opposite of what you asked for. People from all over the world have asked me over and over again why I keep praying and still don't get an answer. This book will explain why people often complain about this. This book is very useful because it explains many ways to influence the subconscious mind and get the right answers. It can always be relied on when things are tough. What do you think? Some people think that believing in something makes their prayers come true, but that's not true. There is an answer to a prayer when the person's subconscious mind reacts to the thought or picture in their mind. This law of belief is what all faiths around the world follow when they don't want to. It's the secret reason behind their psychic truth. Even though they say they believe very different things, Buddhists, Christians, Muslims and Jews can all get answers to their prayers. How is it possible? The answer is that it has nothing to do with their religion, creed, routine, ceremony, formula, liturgy, incantations, sacrifices, or specific offerings. It has everything to do with their belief or mental openness to what they are praying for. The law of faith is the law of life. A thought in the mind is a short way to describe belief. What a person thinks, feels, and believes determines how his mind, body, and surroundings are. You can get your mind to accept all the good things in life by using a method that is based on knowing what you are doing and why you are doing it. Basically, having your prayer answered means getting what you want. The prayer is the wish. Health, happiness, safety, peace of mind, and the ability to express oneself honestly are things that everyone wants. But how many of us actually reach all of these goals? This professor wanted to be healthy and happy. They told me, I know that if I change my mental pattern and reorient my emotional life, it will improve the state of my heart. I know that. The problem is that I have no technique, process, or modus operandi. My mind wanders on and on about my many problems, and I feel frustrated, unhappy, and defeated. What he wanted was to understand how his mind worked. Was this what he needed to make his wish come true? He got better and was whole again after using the mending methods in this book. There is one mind that all people share. Your mind's magical powers have been around since before you and I were born, before there was a church or the world. The great facts and rules of life have been around since the beginning of time. With these things in mind, I want to tell you in the next few parts how to get this wonderful, magical, life-changing power. It will heal your mental and physical wounds, set your mind free from fear, and set you free from the chains of poverty, failure, sadness, lack, and frustration. All you have to do is connect with the good you want to be in your mind and heart. Your inner mind will show you how to be creative. So, start right now, today. Let great things happen to you. Don't stop until dawn comes and the darkness go away. You have a treasure house inside of you that is full of wealth. All you have to do to get them is open your mental eyes and think about the wealth chest of infinity that is inside you. Inside you is a storehouse where you can get everything you need to live a glorious, happy, and abundant life. A lot of people don't reach their full potential because they don't know that they are full of infinite knowledge and love. You can bring anything you want into your life. When iron is magnetized, it can lift 12 times its own weight. When iron is not magnetic, it can't lift a feather. In the same way, there are two types of people. Those who are attracted are sure of themselves and believe they were born to win and succeed. A lot of other people are demagnetized. They add, "And if I fail, I could lose my money. People will laugh at me." This kind of person will not do well in life. They stay where they are because they are afraid to move forward. If you find and use the master secret of the ages, you can appear to be drawn to other people. The great secret that has been kept for ages? If someone asked you to name the greatest secret of all time, what would you say? Would you say black holes, atomic energy, or going between planets? It's not any of them, though. What is this great secret? Where can I find it? And how do I understand it and use it? The answer is very easy to understand. This secret is the amazing power that lies in your subconscious mind. Most people wouldn't look for it here, which is why not many people find it. The great power of your subconscious mind. If you can learn to access and use this secret power, you will be able to attract more power, money, health, happiness, and joy into your life. There's no need to get this power. You already have it. You just need to learn how to use it. You need to understand it before you can use it in every part of your life. You can get the information and knowledge you need if you follow the simple steps and methods taught in this book. You can be moved by a new light and create a new force that will help you reach your goals and achieve all your dreams. Choose right now to make your life more beautiful, big, rich, and noble than ever. What you need is always there in your subconscious, where you can find knowledge, power, and everything else you need. It's waiting for you to help it grow and speak out. If you start to see these possibilities in your deep mind right now, they will come true in the real world. The infinite intelligence in your subconscious mind can teach you everything you need to know at any given time and place, as long as you are open-minded and willing to listen. You can get new ideas and thoughts, come up with new inventions, find new things, and make new works of art. Your inner mind is smarter than you are, and it can help you learn new and interesting things. Let it show itself to you, and it will help you find the right way to express yourself and your real place in the world. With the help of your conscious mind, you can find the perfect partner, whether it's for love, work, or comfort. The information inside can help you get all the money you need, letting you do, be, and go as you please. You have the right to understand this world of thoughts, feelings, and the power of love, light, and beauty inside you. Its forces are strong in your mind, even though you can't see them. Magic them up, the cause of all effects and the answer to all problems. You will really have the power and knowledge to move forward in wealth, safety, joy, and mastery once you learn how to tap into these hidden powers. I have seen the power of the mind heal people who were hurt and make them whole, healthy, and strong again. They are now free in their minds to go out into the world and find happiness, health, and happy expression. There is a magical healing force in your subconscious that can fix a troubled mind or a broken heart. It can free you from all kinds of material and physical chains. Need for a base that works. In any area, there is an important first step that you must take. You need to find a useful basis that can be used in any situation. In order to become good at using your inner mind, you first need to understand how it works. As soon as this is done, you can use its skills, confident in the results you will get. These powers can be used for the clear aims and goals you set for yourself. I worked as a chemist for a long time. In my early schooling, one of the first things I learned was that water is made when you mix 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. Not sometimes, most of the time, or all the time. When you mix 1 atom of oxygen with 1 atom of carbon, you get carbon monoxide, which is a deadly gas. But if you add 1 more atom of oxygen, you get carbon dioxide, a gas that plants need and animals can't live without. These things are true for everyone and will never change. We call them principles. The way that the rules of science, physics and math work is the same as the way that your subconscious mind works. It is important to understand the rules of chemistry and physical forces before you can use them. You need to understand how your inner mind works before you can use its power. Take the rule that most people agree on: water seeks its own level. This is a general rule that applies to all liquids that act like water, everywhere, at all times. The Egyptians were aware of this rule and used it to make sure that the bases of the Great Pyramids were level. It is now used by engineers to plan everything from a hydroelectric power plant to a method for watering plants, or the idea that when matter is heated, it grows. This is always true, no matter where you are or what you're doing. If you heat a piece of steel, it will grow. This is true whether the steel is in China, England, India, or space. When matter is heated, it grows bigger. This is true for everyone. Also, it is a global truth that whatever you store in your subconscious mind shows up in the real world as conditions, experiences, and events. There is an answer to your prayer because your subconscious mind is principle. By principle, I mean the way something works. One important idea in electricity, for instance, is that it flows from a higher potential to a lower one. Putting on a lamp or cooking on an electric stove doesn't change how electricity works. When you work with nature, you don't use the concept. You can come up with amazing inventions and findings that help people in a huge number of ways. Principles guide your subconscious mind, which works by the rule of belief. You need to know what thought is and how and why it works. In a beautiful, easy way, your Bible says, "He who says to this mountain, 'Be taken down and thrown into the sea,' and doesn't doubt in his heart, will have what he says done." Mark 11:23. What you believe is the law of your mind. This means having faith in the way your mind works, or in the idea itself. Just that. The thought in your mind is what you believe, not a thing else. Your inner mind makes all of your experiences, events, conditions, and actions happen because of the thoughts you have. Remember that what matters is not what you believe, but what you believe in your mind. Stop giving in to the false thoughts, beliefs, myths, and fears that only make us human. Start believing in the things that will always be true. After that, you'll move forward, up, and toward God. Everyone who reads this book and follows the subconscious mind principles explained in it will be able to pray scientifically and effectively for themselves and others. The universal law of action and response says that their prayer will be answered. Idea is action, and reaction is what your subconscious mind does in response to the kind of idea you have. Wonders will occur in your life if you fill your mind with the ideas of harmony, health, peace, and goodness. Mind splitting. You only have one mind, but it has 2 separate and unique parts that do different things. Scholars of the mind know exactly what the line is between them. The two things your mind does are very different from one another. Each one has its own unique qualities and abilities. There are many names for the two parts of the mind, such as the objective and subjective mind, the conscious and subconscious mind, the waking and sleeping mind, the superficial and deep self, the free and involuntary mind, the masculine and feminine mind, and many more. All of these, no matter what they mean, are acknowledgements of this basic split. In this book, I use the words conscious and subconscious to talk about how your mind works in two different ways. You can use a different set of words if that makes things easy for you. The important thing is to understand that the mind has two parts, the aware mind and the subconscious mind. If you want to learn more about the two parts of your mind, picture it as a yard. You take care of the yard. Every minute of the day, you put thoughts in your subconscious mind. The ideas are often based on the way you usually think, so you aren't even aware of it. The things you think and feel will show up in your body and in the world around you. You can think of your subconscious mind as a bed of rich dirt that will help all sorts of seeds grow, whether they are good or bad. You will get grapes if you plant thorns. What you plant will grow into figs. Things happen because of thoughts, and thoughts happen because of conditions. That's why you need to be in charge of your thoughts. In this way, you will only create situations that are good. Start now to plant ideas of happiness, peace, doing the right thing, goodwill, and wealth. Think about these traits in silence and with conviction. Fully accept them in your mind. Put these wonderful thought seeds back into the garden of your mind, and you will get a beautiful crop. The magical power of your subconscious will work when your mind is clear, when you know the truth, and when the thoughts you store in your subconscious are positive, peaceful, and happy. It will make things peaceful and pleasant, and the best part is that once you learn to manage your thoughts, you will be able to use the power of your subconscious to solve any problem. Actually, you will be working together with the rule that controls everything that has infinite power. Anyone can see that most people don't know anyone who is very wise if they look around. This is true no matter where you live or what kind of friends you have. Still, they are very involved with their inner lives. They understand that the inner world makes the outer world, and so will you. The things that make up your experience are your thoughts, feelings, and mental pictures. The only place where creativity can come from is inside. Whether you are aware of it or not, everything you see in your world of expression was made by you in your mind. You can change your whole life once you know the truth about how your conscious mind and subconscious mind work together. You have to change the cause if you want to change the results. Most people who want to change things do things that change. Those things. What a terrible waste of time and work this is. They don't see that their problems are caused by something. If you want to get rid of conflict, misunderstanding, lack, and limits in your life, you have to get rid of the cause. This is because of how you use your conscious mind and the ideas and pictures you feed it. It's as easy as that. Change the cause and the effect will change. We all live in an ocean of unimaginable wealth. Your inner mind is very aware of what you think. They are the building blocks through which the infinite knowledge, wisdom, life forces, and energies of your subconscious flow. Change the direction of that grid for the better and use those endless energies to help yourself the most. This book gives clear and detailed examples of how to use the rules of mind. If you learn these techniques, you will have plenty instead of not having enough, knowledge instead of superstition and ignorance, peace instead of inner struggles, success instead of failure, happiness instead of sadness, light instead of darkness, peace and trust instead of fear. Is there a better set of gifts than this? Deep knowledge of how the conscious and subconscious minds work has been a trait of many great scientists, artists, poets, singers, writers, and engineers. They were able to reach their goals because of this. The great opera tenor Enrico Caruso had stage fear at one point. Fear-induced spasms squeezed the muscles in his throat, making him feel like his voice cords were paralyzed and useless. He was already dressed up and backstage, and sweat was running down his face. He was about to go on stage and sing in front of tens of thousands of people. "I can't sing. Everyone will laugh at me. My career is over," he said with shaking hands as he turned around to go back to his changing room. He stopped all of a sudden and yelled, "The little me is trying to strangle the big me inside." He stood up straight and turned back to the stage. "Out, out," he told the little me. "The big me wants to sing through me." By the big me, Caruso meant his subconscious mind, which had all the power and knowledge in the world. He started to yell, "Out, out. I'm going to sing as big me." His subconscious mind reacted, letting the life forces inside him flow. As soon as the call came, he walked out on stage and sang beautifully and powerfully. The crowd was enthralled. You can see from what you've read so far that Caruso knew there are two parts of the mind: the awareness, which is logical, and the subconscious, which is irrational. When you think certain things, your subconscious mind reacts to them. Fear, worry, and anxiety make Caruso's subconscious mind, or big self, feel bad. When these feelings are in the conscious mind, or small self, they come out. They make the aware mind feel scared, hopeless, and full of fear. If this ever happens to you, you can do what the great Caruso did. You can speak positively and with a lot of power to the irrational feelings that come up in your deep mind. You can say, "Be still, be still. You must follow me because I am in charge. You must do what I say. You must not get involved unless I tell you to." See what happens when you talk to your deeper self with authority and confidence about its irrational movements. It will amaze you. Your mind is like the ship's pilot or captain who works on the bridge. The men and women in the engine room are told what to do by it. After that, these drive the boilers, sensors, gauges, and other things. The people who work in the engine room just do what they are told. They would chase the man on the bridge to the dogs if he gave them bad orders. Based on what he finds with the compass, sextant, and other tools, the people in the engine room follow him because he is in charge and should know what he's doing. People on the team don't argue with the captain, they just do what he says. The captain is in charge of the ship, and it does what he says. The same way, your aware mind is in charge of your body, your surroundings, and everything else in your life. The things that your conscious mind believes and accepts as true tell your subconscious mind what to do. There is no question about the orders or the reason they are made. Your inner mind will believe you if you tell it over and over, "I can't afford it." It stops you from getting what you want. Your subconscious mind will do what you say as long as you keep telling it, "I can't afford that car, that vacation, that house." You will feel like you don't have any of these things in your life, and you will think that it's because of the way things are. There is no way you will realize that your own negative and rejecting thoughts have made those things happen. A student at the University of Southern California called Nina Wool was walking through a high-end shopping area in Beverly Hills on the night before Christmas. Her mind was excited about what was to come. She was going to Buffalo, New York, with her family for the summer. One of the handbags in the window caught her eye. It was made of beautiful Spanish leather. It made her long for something. She gasped when she saw the price. In her mind, she was about to say, "I could never afford such a pricey handbag." Then she remembered something I had said in a lecture. Never finish a negative statement, reverse it. She said through the glass, "That bag is mine. It's for sale. I mentally accept it, and my conscience makes sure I get it." Nina met her fiancé for a farewell dinner that same day. She carried a gift that was beautifully wrapped when she got there. She took a deep breath and opened it. It was the same leather bag she had seen earlier that morning and known to be hers. She was excited about what was going to happen and then left the decision to her greater mind, which has the power to see things through. Afterward, Nina told me, "I didn't have the money to buy that bag before, but now I do. I've learned where to find the money and everything I need, inside me, in the treasure chest of eternity." This is what her subconscious mind told her. A woman named Ruth wrote to me a few months ago. She had been to one of my talks. She wrote, "I am 75 years old, divorced, and have a big family. I was living alone and getting by with a small income and federal aid. My life looked empty and hopeless." Then I thought back to his talk about the subconscious mind's powers. He said that ideas could get into the subconscious mind by doing them over and over again, having faith and expecting them to happen. Is it possible? I had nothing to lose, so I chose to try it. I started to say over and over, with all the feeling I had, "They love me, they love me. I am happy married to a man who has a spiritual mind. I feel safe and satisfied." This is what I did many times a day for about 2 weeks. At the drugstore around the corner, I met a retired pharmacist one day. He was nice, understanding, and very holy, in my opinion. He was exactly what I needed to hear. Within a week, he asked me to marry him. We are now in Europe on our vacation. It's clear to me that my subconscious mind brought us together by divine will. Ruth found that the golden chest was inside of her. In her heart, she knew that her prayer was true, and her assurance sank into her subconscious mind, which is where creativity happens. Through the law of attraction, her inner mind knew the answer as soon as she had a subjective incarnation. Her deep, wise, and smart mind put her and her new husband in perfect harmony with God. Remember to think about this. Whatever is true, whatever is honest, whatever is fair, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is good news, if there is any virtue or something admirable in these things, think. Paul says this in 4:8. Thoughts to remember. The wealth chest is inside you. Look inside yourself to find the answer to what you really want. The big secret that all great men had in common was that they could connect with and use the powers of their inner mind. You can do the same thing. Your mind knows how to solve all of your troubles. Before you go to sleep, tell your inner mind, "I want to wake up at 6 a.m., and it will get you up at that exact time. This part of your mind builds your body and can heal you. Before you go to sleep every night, tell your mind that you want to be healthy, and it will do what you say. Things happen because of thoughts, and thoughts happen because of conditions. Send the idea to your subconscious mind with love and feeling if you want to write a book, make a great play, or give a better speech. It will answer in kind. You are like a ship's captain who has to give the right commands, or the ship will sink. In the same way, you have to tell your subconscious mind what to think and picture in order for it to direct and guide all of your experiences. Don't say things like, "I can't afford it," or "I can't do this." It makes it sound like you don't have the money or skills to do what you want to do. Say to yourself, "The power of my subconscious mind can help me do anything." The law of faith is the law of life. Believe is an idea you have in your mind. Don't believe in things that will hurt you. Instead, trust that your inner mind can heal, inspire, strengthen, and make you wealthy. It will happen to you because that's what you believe. Change the way you think, and your life will change. How does your mind work? Your mind is the most valuable thing you own. You have it with you all the time, but you won't be able to use its full power until you learn how to do so. We now know that your mind is made up of 2 parts, the awareness level, which is logical, and the subconscious level, which is irrational. Your conscious mind thinks, and what you think generally gets stored in your subconscious mind. Based on what you think, your subconscious mind makes things. How we feel is stored in our mind, the mind that comes up with new ideas. If you think good thoughts, good things will happen. If you think bad thoughts, bad things will happen. That's how your mind works. It's important to remember that the subconscious mind starts to carry out a thought as soon as it agrees with it. It's a strange and deep truth that the rule of the subconscious mind works for both good and bad thoughts. When this law is used in a bad way, it leads to failure, anger, and sadness. But when your normal way of thinking is positive and peaceful, you are healthy, successful, and wealthy. When you start to think and feel right, you will have peace of mind and a good body. Whatever you believe in your mind and feel to be true, your inner mind will accept and bring it into your life. All you need to do is get your mind to agree with your thought. The rule of your subconscious mind will then bring you the health, peace, and wealth you want. You tell your mind to do what you want it to do, and it will do exactly what you tell it to do. Your mind works like this. The way your subconscious mind reacts to something will depend on the thought or idea you have in your waking mind. It is known to psychologists and therapists that when thoughts are sent to the subconscious mind, they leave impressions in the brain cells. When the inner mind agrees with an idea, it starts to carry it out right away. This is called association of ideas. It does what it's supposed to do by using all the information you've learned over the course of your life. Use the wisdom, power, and force that you have inside you. It sets up all of nature's rules to get what it wants. He seems to be able to solve your problems right away sometimes, but other times it could take days, weeks, or even longer. Its methods are hard to figure out. What's different about the conscious and the subconscious? Keep in mind that the conscious and the subconscious are not two different thoughts. They are just two areas of action in the same mind. The mind that thinks and reasons is your aware mind. During that part of the mind, you pick out things like your books, your house, and your life partner. Your aware mind is responsible for all of your choices. On the other hand, your heart keeps beating even when you're not thinking about it. This is because your subconscious mind controls processes that keep your heart beating and digestive, circulatory, and breathing functions running smoothly. The subconscious mind accepts what you tell it, or what you consciously think. It doesn't question things like your conscious mind does, and it doesn't agree with you. It's like a bed of dirt in your mind that will take in any seed, good or bad. The seeds are your thoughts. Negative and damaging thoughts are still working against you in your subconscious mind. Eventually, they will come to the surface and manifest as an experience that matches what they are saying. Don't forget that your subconscious mind doesn't check to see if your thoughts are good or bad, true or false. Instead, it reacts based on the nature of your thoughts or ideas. By way of example, if you consciously assumption that something is true when it might not be, your subconscious mind will accept it as true and do what it has to do because you consciously assumed it to be true. Doing experiments. Psychologists and other people have done a huge number of experiments with people who are hypnotized. This study makes it very clear that the subconscious mind doesn't choose between options or make comparisons that are needed for reasoning. Your subconscious mind will believe any idea, no matter how false it is. Once a suggestion is accepted, it acts in a way that fits the type of advice. An experienced magician can tell one of her subjects that she is Napoleon Bonaparte, or even a cat or a dog, and the subject will act out the part with uncanny accuracy. This shows how open your subconscious mind is to suggestion. For a short time, she changes who she is. She trusts what the operator says about her. While a student is under hypnosis, a skilled hypnotist might tell one student that their back hurts, another that their nose is bleeding, a third that they are a statue made of marble, and a fourth that they are freezing because it is below zero. Each student will follow the line of his own suggestion and not notice anything else going on around them that is not part of the suggestion. These easy pictures show the difference between the conscious mind, which thinks and reasons, and the subconscious mind, which doesn't care about people or things and believes whatever the conscious mind believes to be true. That's why it's important to choose thoughts, ideas, and theories that make you happy, heal, inspire, and bless. To be clear about the words objective and subjective mind, your conscious mind is sometimes called the objective mind because it thinks about things outside of yourself. You can see the objective world with your 5 senses, which are part of your objective mind. Your objective mind is what you use to interact with the world around you. Through your 5 senses, you learn things. Your mind is objective, so it learns by watching, doing, and being taught. As was already said, thinking is the most important thing that the objective mind does. Imagine that you were one of the many hundreds of thousands of people who visit the Grand Canyon every year. You would come to the conclusion that it is one of the world's most amazing nature sites. Its amazing depth, the complicated shapes of the rocks, and the beautiful way the colors play off of each other between the different layers of rock would lead to this conclusion. This is how your objective mind works. The subjective mind is another name for the subconscious mind. The subjective mind knows what's going on around it, but not through its senses. The subjective mind gets its information from instinct. People feel feelings and remember things in their heads. It's when your objective senses aren't working that your subjective mind is at its most intelligent. In other words, that intelligence shows itself when your objective mind is asleep or stopped. Your subjective mind sees things even though your normal eyes don't. It has the ability to see and feel things clearly. It can see and hear things going on in other places. Your subjective mind can leave your body, go to faraway places, and come back with information that is usually very true and accurate. You can read other people's ideas and the contents of sealed books, newspapers, and envelopes through your subjective mind. Our ability to learn the true art of prayer will improve once we understand how the objective and subjective thoughts work together. It's not possible for the subconscious to think like your waking mind. There is no way for your subconscious mind to fight or disagree with what it is told. It will work to make the information you give it right, even if you give it wrong information. All of your ideas, even the ones that were wrong, will be taken as conditions, situations, and events. All the bad things that have happened to you are because of ideas that put thoughts in your subconscious mind. Correcting any wrong or twisted ideas you may have sent to your subconscious mind is very important right now. Giving your subconscious mind positive and peaceful thoughts over and over is the only way to be sure of success. Your inner mind will accept them if you say them over and over again. Since habits are stored in the inner mind, this is how you can make new, better ones for your life and thoughts. The way your conscious mind thinks about things over and over again creates deep memories in your subconscious mind. It's possible for your subconscious mind to create conditions that are peaceful, harmonious, and helpful if the ideas you have on a regular basis are those things. Fear, worry, and other negative thoughts can hold you back. To get rid of them, you need to understand the power of your subconscious mind and command it to give you freedom, happiness, and good health. Since your subconscious mind is creative and in touch with its holy source, it will start to make the freedom and happiness you want happen. Seriously, advice has so much power. Your conscious mind is like the guard at the gate, as you can see from what we've already talked about. One of the most important things it does is keep your subconscious mind safe from false ideas. One basic rule of mind says that your subconscious is very open to suggestions. This is why it's so important. You already know that your inner mind doesn't compare and contrast things. It doesn't think or reason on its own. The conscious mind, not the inner mind, is in charge of the second task. Not only does your conscious mind react to the feelings it gets, it also doesn't choose between different things to do. It just takes what it is given. There is a very strong force called suggestion. Imagine that you are on a ship that moves back and forth a bit. You go up to a customer who looks shy and say, "Gee, you don't look so good. Your face is almost green. I'm afraid you're about to get seasick." I help him to his cabin. He gets pale. The idea you just gave him about getting seasick fits with his worries and fears. He lets someone lead him to the deck. Once they get there, your bad idea, which he agreed to, comes true. Different responses to the same idea. It is important to understand that different people will have different responses to the same idea. This is because they were raised or have views that are different from each other. Instead of picking a shipmate, let's say you go up to a crew member and ask, "Hey buddy, you don't look so good. Do you think you're about to get seasick?" The sailor will either laugh at your joke or send you packing, depending on his mood. The idea you gave him doesn't work on him. His mind connects the thought of being seasick with his own protection. It didn't make him afraid or worried, though. It made him feel good about himself. A suggestion is the act or instance of putting something into one's mind. It is the mental process by which a thought or idea that has been suggested is thought about, accepted, or put into action. Remember that you can't force an idea on your subconscious mind if you don't want to. The suggestion can be turned down by your conscious mind. It wasn't possible for the negative thought to make the sailor afraid of getting seasick because he was sure he wouldn't. But his traveling partner was already afraid of getting sick, which made her more open to his idea. Each of us has our own fears, ideas, and thoughts. Our lives are ruled by these ideas we hold inside. An idea doesn't have any power on its own. It only has power when you mentally accept it. It's not until then that your subconscious starts to act in line with the idea. How did you lose your arm for so long? I regularly gave talks at the London Truth Forum at Caxton Hall, which I started many years ago. Its head, Dr. Everly Fett, told me about a man whose daughter had rheumatoid arthritis that made her unable to move, and a skin disease that hurt and made her look bad. Though the doctors tried many things, nothing seemed to help. The man was about to give up hope. He told himself and his friends over and over, "I would give my right arm to see my daughter get better." Dr. Fett says that one day the family went for a drive. When their cars hit each other head-on, the father's right arm was torn off at the shoulder. He found that his daughter's pain and skin problem were gone when he got home from the hospital. It is very important that you only tell your subconscious mind things that will heal, bless, lift, and inspire you in every way. Don't forget that your inner mind doesn't know what a joke is. It believes what you say. How does autosuggestion get rid of fear? To suggest something clear and detailed to yourself is what autosuggestion means. Like any other tool, if you don't use it right, it can do you harm. But if you do, it can be very helpful. Janet R. was a great young singer. She was told to try out for a lead part in an opera production. It was very important to her to try out, but she was also very nervous. It had been 3 times before that she had sung badly for directors. There was fear of failing as the reason. Even though she had a great voice, she told herself, "When it's time to sing, I'll sound terrible. I'll never get the part. They won't like me. They'll wonder how I dare show up. I'll go, but I know it will be a failure." Her subconscious mind took these negative thoughts as requests. He then brought them into his experience by manifesting them. It was caused by autosuggestion that wasn't wanted. Her fears turned into feelings and thoughts, which then turned into her reality. The bad thoughts that were going through this young singer's mind were not able to stop her. She did this by using positive autosuggestion to fight back. It was something she did 3 times a day. She would go to a quiet room by herself, sit down in an armchair, rest, and close her eyes. She would try to calm down her body and mind. Because of its weight, inertia makes the body more passive and the mind more open to suggestions. To get rid of the fearful thought, she told herself over and over, "I sing beautifully. I am poised, serene, confident, and calm." She did this 5 to 10 times at each session, slowly, quietly, and with feeling. I would do 3 of these practices during the day and 1 right before bed. After a week, she was totally calm and sure of herself. When the big day came, she did a great job at her test and got the part. How did a woman who was 75 years old remember things? She was always proud of how well she could remember things. She forgot things sometimes, just like everyone else, but she didn't think about it. But as she got older, she became more aware of these events and began to worry about them. Her negative self-suggestion made her forget more and more people and events. Every time she forgot something, she would tell herself, "I must be losing my memory because of age." It was almost too much for her to handle. Thankfully, she then saw how she was hurting herself. She chose to do things the other way around. She stopped herself from thinking, "I'm forgetting things," whenever she felt like it. She also did the opposite of what she was doing several times a day. Positive-inspired auto-suggestion was something she did. She would tell herself, "As of today, my memory is getting better in every way. I will always remember what I need to know at all times and in all places. The impressions I receive will be clear and definite, and I will remember them automatically and easily. Whatever I want to remember will immediately present itself in the right form in my mind. I am improving rapidly every day." Soon, his memory would be better than ever. Within 3 weeks, it was back to normal. I was asked to help a man whose marriage and career were in serious trouble. Hugh's problem was that he was always irritable and angry. It bothered him, but if someone got into an argument with him, he would explode in anger. He would tell himself that everyone was picking on him and that he had to defend himself against them. To change this negative auto-suggestion, I told him to use positive auto-suggestion. He should tell himself 3 times a day, in the morning, at noon, and before bed, "From now on, I will be in a better mood." Moods like joy, happiness, and cheer are becoming normal for me. I'm kinder and more understanding every day. Everyone around me will feel happy and at peace because of me. As this happy, joyful, and jovial mood spreads, it's now becoming my normal and natural state of mind. His wife and co-workers said he was much easier to get along with after a month. I am grateful. Some thoughts on heterosuggestion. Heterosuggestion refers to suggestions from someone else. The power of suggestion has been a part of human life and thought throughout history. It has helped political creeds, religious beliefs, and cultural traditions grow and survive. It can also be used to control and dominate others who haven't been taught about the laws of mind. When used in a positive way, suggestion is beautiful and wonderful. When used in a negative way, it can lead to lasting patterns of misery, failure, suffering, disease, and disaster. As soon as you are born, you have already accepted some of these. Every day, we are bombarded with negative ideas. Since we don't know how to fight them, we unconsciously accept them and make them our experience. You'll never get anywhere. You'll never get anywhere. You shouldn't. You'll fail. There's no way you can win. You're not right. It doesn't help. It's not what you know, but who you know. Why bother? It doesn't matter. That's not worth the trouble. You're too old now. Things are getting worse. Life is a never-ending grind. You lose. You should be careful not to get a bad disease. We help make these thoughts come true when we agree with them. As a child, you didn't feel like you could do anything about the advice that people you cared about gave you. You had no idea what was right. You didn't even wonder about the mind, whether you were aware of it or not. But now that you're an adult, you can choose. As a reconditioning treatment, constructive autosuggestion can help you change the way you feel about things. To start, you need to be aware of the heterosuggestions that are at work in you. They can make you act in ways that set you up for failure in your personal and social life if you don't look at them. You can get rid of a lot of negative vocal conditioning that might be messing up your life pattern and making it hard or impossible to form good habits with constructive autosuggestion. You can fight back against negative ideas. You can read the newspaper or watch the news on TV. You hear a lot of stories every day that could make you feel hopeless, scared, anxious, or like the end of the world is near. These scary thoughts can make you lose the will to live if you let them take over your mind. You have choices, though, once you know you don't have to accept them. All of these bad thoughts have power over you already. Check the negative suggestions that other people make to you often by giving your inner mind positive auto-suggestions. You don't have to let harmful heterosuggestion drive you crazy. It's something we've all dealt with as kids, teens, and adults. When you think back, it's easy to remember how parents, friends, family, teachers, and co-workers all helped spread bad ideas. Pay attention to what was said to you. When you look closely at what they really meant, you will see that many of them were just lies. Their secret goal was, and still is, to control you by making you afraid. How did the idea kill a person? A distant cousin of mine went to India and asked a well-known crystal seer to tell him what would happen in the future. He was going to die at the next new moon, the seer told him, because his heart was bad. My friend was shocked and told his whole family about the prediction. He checked his will with his lawyer to make sure it was correct. When I tried to convince him otherwise, he told me that everyone knew the Crystal Watcher had amazing magical abilities and could either help or hurt the people she was in charge of. He was sure about this. He pulled away more and more as the new moon got closer. This man was happy, healthy, strong, and full of energy a month ago. Now that he was stressed out, he had a fatal heart attack on time and died without realizing that he had killed himself. Have any of us heard similar stories that made us feel scared, that the world is full of strange forces that we can't control? There are forces in the world, but they are not dangerous or hard to understand. A strong idea got into my relative's mind and caused him to kill himself. He thought the Crystal Watcher had magic powers, so he fully believed what she said. Let us look at what happened once more. Based on what we know about how the subconscious mind works, the subconscious mind will accept what the aware and reasoning mind makes up and act on it. When my family member went to see the fortune teller, he was high on drugs. She told him something bad to do, and he did it. He became scared and couldn't stop thinking about how sure he was that he would die at the next new moon. He told everyone and got ready to die. He died because of his own fear and the fact that his inner mind believed the end was coming. That woman who said he would die didn't have any more power than the rocks and sticks in the field. Her idea did not have the power to make the ending happen on its own. If she knew how her mind worked, she would have ignored the negative thought and refused to listen to what it said. He would have been able to keep living, knowing that his own thoughts and feelings told him what to do. If the seer had told the truth, it would have been like throwing a rubber ball at a tank. He could have easily stopped it and gotten rid of its idea without hurting anyone. He let it kill him instead, because he wasn't aware of it or knew enough about it. The ideas of other people don't have any power over you on their own. The power they have comes from the power you give them through your thoughts. In your mind, you have to agree. You have to think about it and accept it. That's when it turns into your own thought, and your mind works to make it real. Remember that you can make a choice. Pick love, health, and life. How strong a main idea was thought to be. For a long time, thinkers and logicians have been interested in a way of thinking called syllogism. Your mind uses syllogisms to think. In real life, this means that no matter what the question or problem is, your subconscious mind will come to the same conclusion based on the main idea that your conscious mind believes to be true. The result will be true if the premises are true, like, every virtue is praiseworthy, goodness is a virtue, therefore goodness is praiseworthy. The first sentence is the main premise, and the right end must always come after the right premise. A professor from Italy who came to some of my talks at New York City Hall about the science of mind wanted to talk to me. I told him that his problems were directly related to his major premise of hurting himself. He told me, "My life is upside down. I have lost my health, my wealth, and my friends. Everything I touch goes wrong." He had to change the way he thought about things in order to change his life. He had to believe that the infinite wisdom of his subconscious mind was in charge of his spiritual, mental, and material well-being, and guiding and directing him. Once he did that, his inner mind would make smart choices for him, heal his body, and bring peace and calm back to his mind. This teacher thought about what he wanted his life to be like in general. This was his main premise. Infinite intelligence leads and guides me in all my ways. Perfect health is mine, and the law of harmony operates in my mind and body. Beauty, love, peace, and abundance are mine. The principles of right action and divine order govern my whole life. I know that my main premise is based on the eternal truths of life, and I know, feel, and believe that my subconscious mind responds in accordance with the thought nature of my conscious mind. Later, he wrote me the following progress report. I repeated the affirmations of my main premise slowly, quietly, and lovingly several times a day. I knew that they sank deep into my subconscious mind. I was convinced by the laws of mind that results must follow. I am deeply grateful for the interview he gave me, and I would like to add that all departments of my life are changing for the better. The subconscious works. Don't argue, controversial, your subconscious knows everything. It knows the answers to all questions. However, it doesn't know that it knows. It doesn't argue with you or answer you. It does not say, "You must not impress me with suggestions of that kind." When you say, "I cannot do this, I am too old, I cannot fulfill this obligation, I was born on the wrong side of the tracks," you do not know the right politician. You are permeating your subconscious with these negative thoughts. And answer, consequently, you are actually blocking your own good. You are bringing lack, limitation, and frustration into your life. When you place obstacles, impediments, and delays in your conscious mind, you are denying the wisdom and intelligence that reside in your subconscious mind. In effect, you are saying that your subconscious mind cannot solve your problem. This leads to mental and emotional congestion, followed by illness and neurotic tendencies. To realize your desires and overcome your frustration, courageously affirm several times a day, "The infinite intelligence that gave me this desire leads me, guides me, and reveals the perfect plan for the unfolding of my desire. I know that the deeper wisdom of my subconscious is responding now, and what I feel and claim within me is expressed on the outside. There is balance, equilibrium, and equanimity. On the other hand, if you say, 'There is no way out, I am lost. There is no way out of this dilemma, I am stuck and blocked,' you will get no response from your subconscious mind. If you want the subconscious to work for you, you have to give it the right request and get its cooperation. It is always working for you. Right now, it controls your heartbeat and your breathing. When you cut your finger, it sets in motion the complex healing process. Its fundamental tendency is toward life. It is always trying to take care of you and preserve you. Your subconscious has a mind of its own, but it accepts your thought patterns and images. When you seek the answer to a problem, your subconscious will respond, but it waits for you to come to a decision and a true judgment in your conscious mind. You must recognize that the answer is in your subconscious mind. If you say, "I don't think there is any way out. I'm all mixed up and confused. Why don't I get an answer?" you are neutralizing your prayer. Like the soldier marking time, you expend vital energy, but you don't move forward. Stop the wheels of your mind. Relax. Let yourself go. Silently affirm, "My subconscious knows the answer. It is answering me. I give thanks now because I know that the infinite intelligence of my subconscious knows all things and is revealing the perfect answer to me now. My real conviction is now releasing the majesty and glory of my subconscious mind. I rejoice that this is so." Review of highlights. Think good and good will follow you. Think evil and evil will follow. You are what you think about all day long. Your subconscious mind does not argue with you. It accepts what your conscious mind decrees. If you say, "I can't afford it," your subconscious works to make it happen. Choose a better thought. Declare, "I will buy it. I accept it in my mind." You have the power to choose. Choose health and happiness. You can choose to be friendly, or you can choose to be unfriendly. Choose to be cooperative, cheerful, friendly, kind, and the whole world will respond. This is the best way to develop a wonderful personality. Your conscious mind is the watchman at the gate. Its main function is to protect your subconscious mind from false impressions. Choose to believe that something good can and is happening now. Your greatest power is your ability to choose. Choose happiness and abundance. The suggestions and affirmations of others have no power to harm you. The only power is the movement of your own thought. You can choose to reject the thoughts or statements of others and affirm the good. You have the power to choose. How will you react? Watch what you say. You have to account for every idle word. Never say, "I'm going to fail. I'm going to lose my job. I can't pay my rent." Your subconscious can't take a joke. It makes all these things happen. Your mind is not evil. No force of nature is evil. It depends on how you use the powers of nature. Use your mind to bless, heal, and inspire all people everywhere. Never say, "I can't." Overcome that fear by replacing it with the following: "I can do all things through the power of my own subconscious mind." Start thinking from the standpoint of the eternal truths and principles of life, and not from the standpoint of fear, ignorance, and superstition. Do not let others think for you. Choose your own thoughts and make your own decisions. You are the captain of your soul, subconscious mind, and the master of your destiny. Remember that you have the ability to choose. Choose life, choose love, choose health, choose happiness. Whatever your conscious mind assumes and believes to be true, your subconscious mind will accept it and make it true. Believe in good fortune, divine guidance, right action, and all the blessings of life. The miraculous power of your subconscious. The power of your subconscious is beyond measure. It inspires and guides you. It summons vivid scenes from the storehouse of memory. The subconscious controls your heartbeat and blood circulation. It regulates digestion, assimilation, and elimination. When you eat a piece of bread, your subconscious transforms it into tissue, muscle, bone, and blood. These processes are beyond the knowledge of the wisest person walking the earth. Your subconscious mind controls all the vital processes and functions of your body. It knows the answer to all problems. Your subconscious mind never sleeps, never rests. It is always working. You can discover the miraculous power of your subconscious by clearly stating to your subconscious before you go to sleep that you want to accomplish a specific thing. You will be amazed and delighted to discover that the forces within you will be released, leading to the outcome you desire. Here is a source of power and wisdom that puts you directly in touch with omnipotence. This is the power that moves the world. It guides the planets in their course and makes the sun shine. Your subconscious mind is the source of your ideals, aspirations, and altruistic impulses. It was through the subconscious mind that Shakespeare perceived and communicated great hidden truths to the average man of his time. It was through the subconscious mind that the Greek sculptor Phidias acquired the art and skill to depict beauty, order, symmetry, and proportion in marble and bronze. Artists like Raphael and Beethoven were able to paint their Madonnas and write their symphonies because of their subconscious. A few years ago, I was invited to give a lecture at the Yoga Forest University in Rishikesh, India. There, I talked with a surgeon from Bombay for a long time. He told me the amazing story of Dr. James Esdai Slay, a Scottish surgeon who worked in Bengal in the 1840s. Despite this, between 1843 and 1846, Dr. Stye performed over 400 major surgeries of all types, including amputations, removal of tumors and cancerous tumors, and surgeries on the eyes, ears, and throat. All of these surgeries were done under mental anesthesia, and the patients said they didn't feel any pain. No one died during the operation, and the mortality rate of Syle's patients after the operation was very low. This was before scientists like Lister pointed out that infections were caused by contaminated instruments and germs. No one knew that unclean instruments and germs. However, when S told his hypnotic patients that no infection or septic condition would develop, their subconscious minds responded by setting in motion processes to protect them from the risks of infection that was threatening their lives. If you think about it, this Scottish surgeon who had travelled across the world more than 150 years ago found a way to use the amazing powers of the subconscious mind. It's mind-blowing. You can also access the same transcendental powers that inspired Dr. Stye and kept his patients safe. Your subconscious can free you from all pain and suffering and give you the answers to all of your problems, no matter what they are. You have a power and intelligence inside you that goes beyond your intellect, making you wonder at the wonder of it all. Your subconscious is like a book of your life. Whatever thoughts, beliefs, opinions, theories or dogmas you write, record or imprint in your subconscious mind, you will experience as the objective manifestation of circumstances, conditions, and events. What you write in your subconscious mind, you will experience on the outside. Your life has two sides, the objective and the subjective, the visible and the invisible, the thought and its manifestation. It starts in your cerebral cortex, which is the part of your conscious mind that thinks and reasons. Once your conscious or objective mind accepts the thought in its entirety, it is sent to older parts of the brain, where it takes on a physical form and shows up in your experience. As we've already said, your subconscious mind can't argue. It only acts on what you write into it. It accepts your conscious mind's verdict as final. This means that you are always writing in the book of life, because your thoughts become your experiences. Ralph Waldo Emerson, an American philosopher, said, "Man is what he thinks all day long. What is imprinted in the subconscious is expressed." William James, the founder of American psychology, said that your subconscious mind has the power to move the world. Your subconscious mind is fed by hidden springs and is known as the law of life. Whatever you impress upon your subconscious mind, it will do. That is why you must impress it with good ideas and positive thoughts. Many people don't understand how their conscious and subconscious minds work together, which is why there is so much chaos and misery in the world. When these two principles are in sync, you will be healthy, happy, peaceful, and joyful. There is no disease or conflict when the conscious and subconscious minds work together in peace and harmony. In ancient times, Hermes Trismegistus was thought to be the world's greatest and most powerful magician. When his tomb was opened hundreds of years after he died, people who knew the ancients well were filled with awe and expectation. It was said that the tomb would hold the greatest secret of all time, and it did. The secret was, as within, so without, as above, so below. This means that whatever you think about in your mind shows up on the screen of space. They all said the same thing. What you subjectively believe to be true is shown through conditions, experiences, and events. Just as movement and emotion must balance each other in heaven, your mind, so must they balance each other on earth, your body and environment. This is the great law of life. You can find it in all of nature, action and reaction, rest and motion. They must balance each other, and then there will be harmony and balance. You are here to let the vital principle flow through you in a rhythmic and harmonious way. What you put in and what you let out must be equal. All of your frustration comes from wanting something that you can't have. If you think negative, destructive, and vicious thoughts, they make you feel destructive emotions that need to be expressed and found an outlet. Because these emotions are negative, they often show up as ulcers, heart problems, tension, and anxieties. What opinion or feeling do you have about yourself right now? Every part of you shows that opinion. Your health, your finances, your friends, and your social standing all show the exact same opinion about you. This is the real meaning of what is stored in your subconscious mind and shown in every part of your life. Negative thoughts hurt us. Think about how many times you've hurt yourself by being angry, scared, jealous, or revengeful. These are poisons that get into your subconscious mind. You weren't born with these negative attitudes. Give your subconscious mind life-giving thoughts, and it will get rid of all the negative patterns that are stuck in it. If you keep doing this, you will erase the past and no longer remember it. The most convincing proof of the healing power of the subconscious mind is a personal healing. More than 40 years ago, I got a cancerous skin tumor. I went to the best doctors who tried the most cutting-edge treatments that medicine could offer. None of them worked, and the disease got worse. Then, one day, a clergyman with a lot of knowledge about psychology told me what Psalm 139 really meant. He pointed out the part that says, "In your book were written all my limbs, which were formed in continuity." He told me that the word book meant my subconscious mind, that it made all of my parts from a single initial cell. He told me that since my conscious mind made my body, it could also fix it and make it whole again using the perfect plan that was already there. The minister showed his watch. I understood what he was trying to tell me with this analogy. The subconscious intelligence that created my body was like the watchmaker. It knew exactly how to heal, restore, and direct all the vital functions and processes of my body. But in order for it to do it correctly, I had to give it the perfect idea of health. This would lead to healing, which is what it does. I made a simple and clear sentence. My body and all its organs were created by the infinitude of my subconscious. She knows how to heal me. Her wisdom created all my organs, tissues, muscles, and bones. This infinite healing presence within me is now transforming every cell of my being, making me whole and perfect. I give thanks for the healing I know is taking place right now. Wonderful are the works of the creative intelligence within me. I said this short prayer out loud for a few minutes, twice or 3 times a day. The growth was gone after about 3 months, leaving my face whole and perfect. My doctor didn't understand what had happened, but I did. I had sent my subconscious mind patterns of wholeness, beauty, and completeness that were good for life. These got rid of the bad pictures and thoughts that were making me sick and were causing all my problems. Nothing appears in your body except when the mental equivalent is first in your mind. As you change your mind, soaking us in, this is the basis of all healing. Wonderful are your works, and that my soul, subconscious mind, knows well. Psalm 139-15. Your subconscious mind controls all of your body's functions, whether you are awake or asleep. This means that your subconscious mind controls all of your body's important functions without your conscious mind having to step in. Your heart keeps beating in a steady rhythm while you sleep, and the muscles in your chest and diaphragm move air in and out of your lungs. There, carbon dioxide, which is made when your cells work, is traded for the fresh air your body needs to stay healthy. It handles all of your body's wonderful and complicated functions, including digestion and the secretions of your glands. All of this takes place whether you are awake or asleep. I think you would fail and die very quickly if you tried to direct your body's functions with your mind. The steps are too hard to understand and are too connected. One of the wonders of modern medicine is the Harlang machine, which is used during open-heart surgery. But what it does is much easier than what your subconscious mind does all day, every day, all year. Let's say you got on a fast jet that flew across the ocean and went into the cockpit. You probably wouldn't know how to fly the plane, but it wouldn't be hard to bother the pilot and take his attention away from what he's doing. In the same way, your conscious mind can't control your body, but it can get in the way of how it works. The heart, lungs, stomach, and intestines don't work as well when you're worried, anxious, scared, or depressed. So-called stress-related illnesses are becoming more and more well known in the medical world. The reason for this is that these thinking patterns get in the way of your subconscious mind working properly. Letting go, relaxing, and stopping your thoughts is the best thing you can do when your body and mind are unhappy. Get in touch with your mind and tell it to take over in perfect peace. Everything in your body will go back to normal. If you talk to your subconscious with power and conviction, it will do what you tell it to do. If you want to get your mind to work for you, you should first know that it works all the time, day and night, whether you pay attention to it or not. The building blocks of your body are in your mind, but you can't see or hear that process. You should only deal with your conscious mind and not your subconscious mind. Keep your conscious mind busy with hoping for the best, and make sure that the thoughts you usually have are about nice, true, fair, and trustworthy things. Now is the time to take care of your conscious mind. Deep down, you know that your subconscious mind is always expressing, reproducing, and creating what you think about most of the time. Keep in mind that the vital force in you flows through you based on the nature of your thoughts, just like water takes the shape of the pipe it runs through. Say out loud that the healing force in your mind comes through you as health, happiness, peace, and plenty. Think of it as a live intelligence that will be a great friend on your journey. Strongly believe that it runs through you all the time, that it will liven you up and help you grow, and that it will respond to you. Just as you think it will be done to you, it is. The healing power of the inner mind fixes the nerves that connect to the eyes. Lourdes in the southwest of France is home to one of the most famous healing places in the world. In the medical department of Lourdes, there are a lot of files that show real cases of what people call miraculous healings. Madame, who was blind and had nerves in her eyes that had died and stopped working, is one example of many. She got her sight back after her trip to Lourdes. Several doctors who checked her out said that her visual nerves were still not working, but she could still see. After a month, a new test showed that her visual system was fully functional again. I'm sure that Madame wasn't healed by the shrine's water. What healed her was her subconscious mind responding to her belief. The healing power in her subconscious mind reacted to the way she was thinking. To accept something as true is to believe it is a thought in your subconscious mind. The accepted thought is carried out naturally. Without a doubt, Madame went to the shrine with high hopes and a lot of faith. In her heart, she knew that she would get better. In response, her inner mind let out the healing forces that were always there. It is possible for the mind that made the eye to bring a dead nerve back to life. What the creative force made can be made again. because you believe it. It will happen to you. How to tell your subconscious mind that you are in great health. A Methodist pastor I met in Johannesburg, South Africa, told me how he beat lung cancer that was very far along. The way he did it was by telling his inner mind about the idea of perfect health. He sent me a full description of the process, because I asked for it, and I'm now giving it to you. I would make sure that my body and mind were completely relaxed several times a day. To calm down, I would tell my body, my feet are relaxed, my ankles are relaxed, my legs are relaxed, my abdominal muscles are relaxed, my heart and lungs are relaxed, my head is relaxed, my whole being is completely relaxed. After about 5 minutes, he would start to feel sleepy. The minister then said, God's perfection is now expressing itself through me. The idea of perfect health now fills my subconscious. God's image of me is a perfect image, and my subconscious mind recreates my body in perfect accordance with the perfect image held in the mind of God. This minister was miraculously healed. He used a simple and straight method to get your subconscious mind to think about being in perfect health. If you want to get the idea of health into your subconscious mind, you can also use scientific or disciplined fantasy. This man had functional paralysis. I told him to picture himself walking around his office, touching the desk, answering the phone, and doing everything else he would normally do if he were healed. I told him that his inner mind would accept this mental picture of being in perfect health. He felt like he was back in the office as soon as he started the job. He was aware that he was giving his mind something real and solid to work on. His mind was the film that the image was printed on. He worked hard at this visualization practice for a few weeks. Then one day, the phone rang when no one was home. It was 10 feet from his bed to the phone. He was able to answer it, though. After that, she was no longer paralyzed. The healing power of his subconscious mind reacted to the images in his mind, and he got better. This man couldn't walk because he had a mental blockage that stopped nerve signals from his brain from getting to his legs. Shifting his focus to the healing power inside him made the power flow through him, and he was able to walk again. If you believe what you ask for in prayer, you will receive it. Matthew 21:22. Remember that your inner mind runs all of your body's important functions and knows how to solve all of your problems. Send a clear message to your inner mind before you go to sleep, and then check it out. Everything you store in your subconscious mind shows up in the real world as conditions, feelings, and events. So, you should pay close attention to all the ideas and thoughts that come to your mind. It is a universal law that what you think is what you do, and what you do is your subconscious mind's automatic answer to what you think. Pay attention to your thoughts. All anger comes from wanting things that you can't have. If you think about problems, delays, and obstacles a lot, your subconscious mind will react in kind, and you will be stopping your own progress. You can make the vital principle flow through you smoothly and rhythmically if you consciously say, I believe that the subconscious power that gave me this desire is now fulfilling it through me. This gets rid of all problems. Stress, worry, and fear can throw off the usual rhythm of your heart, lungs, and other organs. If you think thoughts of peace, health, and unity, your body will restore itself to its normal state. If you keep your conscious mind busy with hoping for the best, your subconscious mind will keep thinking the way you normally do. Think about the good finish or way out of your problem. Feel the rush of making progress. What you think and feel will be accepted by your inner mind, which will make it happen.